Now it's recording. You can start off how you want to start off.
All right, what's up, YouTube? I'm back with another edition of Concrete Chronicles. Today, I got a really good interview in store for you. I got brother Nate Dogg916. He's a YouTuber. He got a real popping channel. And today, he's going to be telling about his experience in the California prison system, as well as what he's been doing since being released. So, brother Nate, go ahead and introduce yourself to the people. Give them a little intro about yourself.
Oh yeah, what's up? What's up? What's popping? Hey, I gotta shoot my intro like I always do. It's Nate Dogg916 coming at y'all live from Sacramento, man. Hey, I appreciate you having me on your show, brother. For
No
those who
doubt.
don't know, I'm from Del Paso Heights, California, in the suburb of Sacramento, California. Uh, I did 17 years in a California State prison, straight, no breaks, all level 4. And I'm out here trying to make a better vision for the children, man. That's it. That's all. Period.
Okay. Now, what years were you inside?
I got it. I got incarcerated in 1997, and then I got sentenced to 18 years, and I got released in 2014.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about that a little bit. Okay. So when you were inside, did you have any particular organizational affiliation or anything like that?
Not organizational. So out here in Cali, I understand it's a difference in wordplay and how people
Okay.
use certain words. In Cali, when you say organizational, it's bigger than just affiliation.
Okay.
Organizational out here is bigger and stuff I can't even talk about because I'm not part of none of those organizations. But I
All
was
right.
affiliated. I was a Del Paso Heights blood, or in the pen, they basically just considered me a 916 blood, Sacramento blood from Sacramento.
Okay. Okay. So that I can be clear. So is a difference between like a street gang and then an
Oh,
organization
definitely.
out here?
There's
Okay.
definitely a difference between a street gang and a prison, political prison gang.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and
Got
I
you.
definitely wasn't part of. We got something we call uncut out here in Cali. I was definitely uncut. I mean, I was strictly my street gang. That's it. I never joined any kind of prison organizations.
Okay. All right. Okay. So now let
And
me
no
ask.
disrespect to them, but nor do I want to.
Right, right, right. So let me ask you this. So you were a blood. So now in the Kelly system, do all the bloods get along or do they
Uh,
like beat each other? How does that work?
okay, for the most part in California, most bloods, we for the most part we get along. Let's be real clear about this. Uh, but there are certain circumstances that have occurred during my time when I did my time that we were at odds with each other, or you know what I mean, the northern bloods and the southern bloods, the bloods from L.A. Because some bloods from L.A. Um, their attitude is y'all little to us. Y'all the little homies. Y'all Sacramento bloods. Y'all anybody up north bloods. Y'all the little homies. Y'all not equal with us. And I do believe honestly that me and a select group of other people from Sacramento and up northern bloods have changed a lot of opinions about that with homies from down south. But there's still some homies that feel how they feel, like they started this and we biting off them, or I mean, just whatever. But I think over the years it's changed, and I think it's more of a conglomerate thing. It's more like a together thing. Like if you rocking against the Bloods, 95% of the time you rocking against the Bloods, all the Bloods is popping. But there's always that chaos hysterical 5% that you got to account for. So yeah, not all the time, but most of the time, yeah, we all get along.
Okay. So say like on a yard, there's got like a section where you got some bloods from LA. So you being a Sacramento blood, are you free to walk over and mingle with them
Oh
cats?
yeah, no doubt. Oh yeah, no doubt. No doubt. No doubt. Yeah, yeah. That's a thing that never be an issue. Me personally, I ain't never been not able to go into like the LA blood where the LA Bloods hang out and kick it. Because most of the prisons I've been at, the LA Bloods would be over there and the Sacramento Bloods would be over there. But me personally, I've never been not able to go over there. But at the same time, certain cats get down different.
Mm.
Certain cats wasn't pushing how I was pushing. You know what I mean? Most of them cats either already knew about me or heard about me or seen my work. So it was like, oh, that's just the homie, man, the homie with the shit. So it's like they didn't look at me any different than their own homeboys. But you know, they got some cats that they see and they think, because there's some homies that's just all player, get money, not really about that gangster shit. So when it comes to the gangster shit, they don't, the LA Bloods or the other homies from other areas don't look at the cats that get out like that in the same light. You got frontliners and you got people that sit back and make money for the hood. So it's no matter what hood you from, you know what I mean? LA or Sacramento or Modesto or fucking Bakersfield, wherever you from, like, you got people that stay in the hood and make money and generate cash for the hood. Then you got cats that when it's war, it's time for war, you got them cats that's going out to commit war.
Okay.
Know? So all right. People are looked at different. There's a hierarchy to this shit. It's stages and positions and levels to this shit.
Right. Now let me ask you this. In the Cali system, what's the overall way, what's the most important factor in how people click up? Is it your affiliation, like your gang, or is it your race? Or what's the hierarchy in that?
Okay, well, it's not really. So the hierarchy. Okay, so off top, the numero uno, the number one thing in the California prison system, level 4 to be exact, because that's all I can speak of. Let's be clear about that. I've only done level 4 times, so I only can speak how it goes on level 4. Because you'll probably have people say, well, it wasn't like that over here on this level 2 or level 1. Well, I don't know. I've never been there. Excuse me. On the level 4, the number one deciding factor of what you're going to do and who you're going to rock with is your race.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the number one get down. Like, I don't care if anybody tells you different, they're delusional. Off top, it's going to be your race. Then it's going to be your affiliation. You know what I mean? So okay, we all black off top, right? So if I get a write-up, it's not going to say blood from 916. My write-up is going to say black inmate. That's what it's going to say on my 115. I actually probably, hold on 1 second. So sorry, show this, Rick. So when you get a 115, right, I'm going to show it to you. So hopefully they can see it. Right after my last name is Jackson, right?
All right.
So you can see right after Jackson, there's a B in parentheses.
Mm-hmm.
That B means black inmate.
Oh,
that's what that B stands for. That's what a 115 looks like in the California Department of Corrections. Yeah, I mean that's basically what a 115 looks like.
Okay.
So, 115 is a write-up, a disciplinary, a rules violation report. But so you're labeled as your race first, and you rock with your race first. The after that becomes your affiliation, whether or not you're a Blood, a Crip, a Bay Area, a non-affiliate, whatever. Like Christians and stuff like that, they rock with the non-affiliates. Well, they don't really rock. They're non-affiliates. Like the non-affiliates don't rock as a group. They're just all non-affiliated. So it's like that's who they're labeled as. But they have tables where they hang out and stuff. But, you know, mainly, first and foremost, is going to be a race in level 4s in California. It's definitely a very racially motivated place. Every level 4 prison.
Wow.
As far as where you hang out at, where you sit at in the day room, what phones you use, what showers you use. Showers, it kind of depending on what prison you go to, it changes. Like if you're on a 180 design, the showers have to kind of mix up because there's only 2 showers per section on a 180 design. So you guys got to just take turns. You know what I mean? It's just that simple with the races. But if you're on a 270 design, there's 2, 4, 6 showers. Well, the 2 in the middle, one will be for like, one on the top would be for like blacks and northerners, whatever. The bottom one would be southerners and whites. But then the one over there on the right would be all southerners and whites. And the ones over there on the left, all blacks. You know what I mean? So it's designated even that far. What bars you work out on in the yard. Everything, what tables you can sit on at the yard is all designated to certain races by us.
Okay, so
it's not designated by them. It's not designated by the green suits. It's designated by us. What areas or what?
Okay.
By the convicts, yeah.
Right. So is it true, like, say for example, a Mexican couldn't come eat food off a black person's tray? That would like get them in like big trouble or something like that? Is it really that segregated in the valley?
if that Mexican is not rolling with the blacks,
Mhm.
he can get stabbed for that by his people. And like, okay, so if you're a Mexican and you rolling with the blacks, then of course you can. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But if you're a Mexican rolling with the Mexicans, no, they'll try to kill you for that. They'll try to kill you for that. Like if you white or Mexican and you rolling with the whites or Mexican, you can't even drink out my cup. You could be thirsty, dying of thirst. You better not drink out my cup. You know what I mean, if you white or Mexican, because your people gonna get on you. Well, first of all, I'm not gonna let you drink out my cup because it's a rules violation on my side. But they more strict on it. They'll try to do something to you about it. You know what I mean? My folks would be like, "That nigga drink out your cup? What was that?" But they people will actually attack them for that.
Wow. Okay. Oh.
It's really and then like, and that's crazy, right? Let me give an example, right? Because somebody else brought this up, right? And I'm glad you asked about the eating off the tray, right? Because it's so stringent in there, right? Like their politics on that level are so strict, but then they come out and eat at public restaurants and on the streets.
Right.
So so are you only going to like say if you're a Mexican individual, are you only going to a Mexican restaurant? And if you're a white individual, are you only going to white owned, white ran, white served restaurants?
Right.
Because honestly, these places don't exist no more. Like I
Mhm.
mean, not really. I mean, to be honest, and it's crazy that the system is designed like that. That in there, but then again, a lot of the rules from in prison don't transfer over back to the streets anyway. So it's like I'm not
Right.
walking outside and trying to do nothing to no child molesters out here. But if I was in prison and a child molester came on my yard, I would get on him immediately.
Okay.
So but I'm not doing that out here because I'm trying to live free, and I'm not actively a gang member anymore. I'm always going to be a member. Excuse me. I'm not actively a gang banger no more. I'm always going to be a member. Like I said, it's levels to this shit. I'm always going to be from my neighborhood. I'm always that's part of where I grew up my whole life. But I'm not out there gang banging. That's for them youngsters, man. I'm a dad and a father. I mean, a father and a husband trying to take care of my family now. I did my tour duty and came home.
Okay. Now let me ask you this. Um, you know how you often hear in the street, about prison rape. Does that really happen, or I mean, or I mean, what's the whole? Is that more myth than reality, or does it actually go down?
I'm gonna say it doesn't. Okay, so during my whole time, like there's rumors about this not fictional, factual person that's floating around CDC. I'm not gonna bring up his name, but he's allegedly this really big guy, and he's gay, and he likes to fight and take people's behind, and this and that. And I'm gonna put it like this: there is coercion, I believe, still going on. uh,
Mm.
to where someone that gets somebody in their cell that they think is soft or think will go for that and try them. You know what I mean? And hey, what's going on? Or like, try to do a little sex play shit and try to coerce them into some shit. But as far as actually cats walking around being rapists, they only gonna get away with it one time.
Mm.
They only gonna get away with it. Honestly, on level fours in California, we not going for that. None of the cars is going for that. Like I've actually seen somebody take down. I seen actually a Crip take down another Crip because he heard that he raped his cellie. The rumor was he raped some youngster that came in the cell with him. So as soon as dude came out, they took off on him. Like they took off on the dude who was accused of doing the rape. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like I'm saying, it's like in California, it would be an oxymoron to think that people are walking around getting raped on level 4 yards, because one of the things for sure that we taken off on is people who come to prison for rape. So why would we let that go down in here if we're doing stuff to people who come from the streets for that charge? You know what
Oh.
I mean? It's like an oxymoron. Like, come on, the process of elimination will tell people that it's not happening, not in reality. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I only can speak on the 916 car specifically, and I can say what I saw those Crips do because they did that. And I know the Bloods, we're not going for that. Bloods ain't going for that all across the board. And from what I saw, the Crips ain't doing it either. I can't speak on no other races because I don't know their politics, but I don't think, and I don't like to speak on other people's politics that I'm not involved in.
Okay. All right.
But
Now,
as far as seeing, there's not punks walking around on level fours like that. You know what I mean? I think maybe in my whole 17 years, I might have seen 2 or 3 punks, and I never seen them on the hard yards. The only yard I seen the punks on, I seen the punks on. Excuse me for the reference to punks. That's the definition. That's what we call them in prison. I've never seen homosexuals or anybody like that on any yards other than when I was on C facility in New Folsom, which is considered a soft yard. And when I was on that yard, it's a program yard or soft yard. That's when I saw homosexual people. You know what I mean? I think there was two of them on that yard, but that's it. I didn't see none on my Pelican. When I was in Pelican Bay, I didn't see any. When I was in High Desert, I didn't see any. When I was in Corcoran, I didn't see any. You know what I mean? So the yards that was popping, I didn't see none on. When I was in Centinela, there was none. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Okay. Now I want to get back to the race thing. Now, you know how like Crips and Bloods beef a lot on the street.
Yeah.
Now does that beef carry over to the pen, or does it kind of die down somewhat?
No, absolutely. No, it still goes down. Don't get it misconstrued. It still goes down with the Bloods and the Crips. It still goes down, but it's not like it was on the streets. So it's not on site. Like if I see a Crip, I'm getting on him. Nah, it's more like if it's an issue, we can get it popping. You know what I mean? And usually it ends up being little melees or whatever, you know what I mean, like 5-on-5s and stuff like that, little baby riots. But for the most part, the blacks don't try to funk with each other. We do, like the Crips are funk with the Bay are funk with the LA Bloods. It happens, and then but it's tried to keep on certain prisons. We try to keep it to a minimum. As best we try to negotiate and keep stuff cool because we need all the soldiers we can get in case something pops off with another race.
Okay.
So if something's gonna pop off with the Mexicans, we need all the blacks to be on the yard that we can. So would it look like us? And this is from my mindset. I only can speak from mine because some people think differently to me. But when I used to push to my youngsters and my homeboys, it's like, man, we not finna trip off that because we need to worry about them over there. We don't need to be worried about the brothers. They not, man, here. He tripping off $20? Here. Go get that dude 4 cases of soups, man. Tell that dude to be quiet, man. We're not finna have no big issue about behind no 4 cases of soups. Them dudes is gonna be trying to kill us about some stuff. So we need to be worried about them over there.
Okay, that's what's up.
It's that simple.
Now, okay. Right. Now, something else I want to ask you out about that seems to be like a big deal in Cali. Okay, what's the whole thing about paperwork? I mean, I hear a lot of cats mention like if your paperwork's bad, you can get hurt. I mean, break that down for me.
The paperwork. So are you asking me what is paperwork or what's the big deal about paperwork?
I guess kind of both. I mean, I guess, like say if I come, like, I'm out in Cali, I get, I come to prison and that shot caller asked me to see his paperwork. Like, what is he really asking me? Why is he asking that?
So first of all, just to clarify for you, a shot caller is not going to be who's going to come and ask you about your paperwork, first of all.
Okay.
Because what if you're bad? Now you know who the shot caller is. You can tell on them. So there's different levels. There's levels to everything, right? So there's different levels to this paperwork game, right? So there's paperwork about what you came to prison for. Okay. So what is your crime? What are you in prison for? And the reason they would want to ask you about your paperwork when you first initially come to prison, when they ask you for your booking report, that's your booking report when you first got arrested. And then your trial transcripts, cats or homies want to, hey, just send your whole transcripts over here, bro. Let us look through it. You know what I mean? Because like, say you got to crime me. Any statements you guys made is going to be in them trial transcripts. You know what I mean? So if you snitched or if you got snitched on or whatever, it'll be in your trial transcripts. So basically what they're looking for when they look at your paperwork is a couple things. Whether you snitched, whether you child molested, whether you raped. That's pretty much all they're looking for. You know what I mean? Other races have different things they're looking for, but as far as blacks, all blacks are really looking for is whether you snitched, whether you child molested, or whether you raped in your case. And if you did any of those, then you really shouldn't have shot your paperwork. You should be locking it up anyway. You shouldn't be coming out to the yard either way. But then another level of paperwork is like what you did or where you've been while you've been in prison. But there's something called a 128G, and it's something that, basically, it shows basically your controlling case, and stuff like that. Like, which it shows what you came to prison for. But the thing I say about the initial transcripts and stuff is because then they can see statements and stuff, right?
Mhm.
But when you're in prison, you got a 128G or one. There's 128G, yeah, 128G, and the newer ones look like this. So that's a 128G.
Okay.
This is mine. This is from the California Department of Corrections. This is when I was in New Folsom, I believe. Yeah, California. Yeah, California State Prison, Sacramento. So this will show what you came to prison for, and then it'll also show which the offenses you're in the hole for at the time, and what you've been written up for previously to that. This shows you not only what you came to prison for, but the stuff you've been convicted of or charged with since you've been in prison.
Okay.
So that's another type of paper. That's an inside prison type of paperwork. You know what I mean? So yeah, this paperwork it's important out here. In prison, it's really important. Because if you don't have your paper, it's like not having a driver's license. You know what I mean? Like you pull up on the yard, you don't have your driver's license. It's like, who are you? What did you do? Why are you here? You know what I mean? Why'd you come to prison? Because we don't tolerate my car, the car I represent, or I was a representative of. We don't tolerate child molesters. We don't tolerate rapists, and we don't tolerate rats. Period. Period. There's no wiggle room in that. We don't tolerate none of that. It's I've caught years added onto my time because of these kind of people. So yeah, we don't tolerate it at all while incarcerated. Out here on the streets, it's more of a I don't tolerate them, but I don't associate. You know what I mean? I'm not going out looking for, I'm not trying to do no bodily harm to any of these people. I just don't associate. I'm cool. I don't want nothing to do with them. Because I already know what they're gonna do. What's the point of trying to do nothing to them if I'm gonna kill, unless I'm gonna kill them? And I'm not trying to kill nobody. You know what I mean? Because if I beat one of them up, if you already a rat, what would I expect a rat to do if I beat them up?
Right.
Go tell on me, right? So you already a rat. So I know if I put my hands on you, definitely gonna go rat on me. So you're not gonna just shoot me a fair one and be like, okay, I lost. Nah, you're not gonna do that. When I beat you up, you're gonna go tell.
Okay. Right. Exactly.
That's just. But paperwork is like, yeah, it's not as light as people think it is. Out here, it's a serious thing.
Right.
Because it's proof. It's proof that you are who you saying you are. You know what I mean? Because, people can say I'm this, that, this, I did this, I did that. Oh, I'm super killer, gangster, whoop the whoop. Well, okay, can I see your paperwork? Where's your paperwork at, bro? You know what I mean? And a lot of times I've seen people who had foul paperwork end up locking it up when they get asked about their paperwork. You know what I mean? That's how it happens. Cats can't produce. And this right here, this is just a little stack of paperwork that I ended up finding in one of my boxes that I sent home from prison back when I was in prison. And then you see his body charts from people who I got on, you know what I mean, from people I've attacked. That's a body chart. That's a body chart from when I attacked somebody. When they go and do a body chart and check all the lacerations and wound marks and stuff like that. Like the medical department has to do a whole body check on people. And this is just a stack I found on a fluke because I actually did a paperwork burn. I had a stack of paperwork about this thick that I actually burned that was all like basically stuff that happened while I was in prison, my legal case, all that. And I used to keep that with me all the time while I was incarcerated.
Okay.
Because it's like, even though my name, a lot of people knew me when I showed up on New Year's after I did my High Desert bid, which I was up there like 4 years. Once I left High Desert, I was doing so much stuff up there, and people go out. Level 4s is a small world. So people go out to other level 4s. And it's like you pull up and it's some cats you already know. And they be like, oh, yeah, that's Nate. He went to shit. Yeah, that's the homie from Sac. He's solid. You know what I mean? But just in case somebody wants that work, I got my paperwork. Here you go. Here you go. And honestly, I'm going to be honest. I didn't really get hit up about my paperwork a lot in my second half of my term. You know what I mean? The first half, yeah, because cats didn't really know me. You just a cat from Shaq. What's happening with bruh? But I got into it in reception, which is the first prison you ever go to. So my name started ringing off top. The first time I went to the chow hall, I got into a fight. The first time they even let me go to chow hall, I took off on somebody. So it was my name. I mean, not that I'm glorifying it. Please don't take that as that. It was just I had an idea of how I was going to do my time, and I just decided to start as soon as they opened my door. You know, I figured if I'm gonna do it, I might as well do it right, according to the rules of the environment that I was being placed in. You know
Right.
what I mean? And according to the rules of that environment, it's kill or be killed. It's that it's like a jungle. Only the strong will survive. So the only way to survive is to go out strong.
Exactly. Okay.
That's what I did at every chance I got. I went hard, and unfortunately, I caught a lot of extra time for that, and it took me a long time to wake up and realize I was walking around in darkness. But now I'm woke. Now I'm woke.
Okay. Now we mentioned the short term shot caller. Can you tell my audience what that is, and then like how does one become a shot caller? Because from my understanding, that's like a pretty powerful position. You calling it for that particular car or that particular race. So how does that process work?
Okay, so there are shot callers. Shot callers are more, personally, as far as my experience, are more designated for organizations.
Oh,
The leaders of organizations are considered shot callers. I'm not part of an organization, so I can't speak on that stuff. But I can speak how shot callers would apply to what I was affiliated with.
okay.
And it really wouldn't be like, because when people hear the word shot caller, they think the person whose word is God, right? Basically. Um, but in from my organization and what not organization, my group, my homies, my gang, my crew, the way we look at it is more of a you get you get a certain kind of respect when you've been through certain kinds of stuff. Um, Hold on one second. I'm gonna stop the video for a second.
Okay.
My wife